Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. What's shaking, what's baking, who's cooking? Just did a deal. I listed a Toro Recycler just like this with the kohler with the bag. You may recall it came in from the local neighborhood scrapper. It had a brand new bag. So I doctored that up, listed it for $250. Within an hour, I had a guy message me, said he had one like it, but non-running. He sent me a picture of it, but he didn't show me it was missing the cover and the filter. But he said he has the cover at home. He said it's only 7 minutes from me. I says, just throw it on my front porch. You don't have to make a special trip. So I gave 30 for it, so he handed me 220 cash for the nice machine. It had a nice shiny deck. It had the Lawrence Carroll shine on the one he took. This one here is beat up. So I grilled him about gas. He says, I use wreck gas. So I just took a sample here. Once he left, I thought I'd grab you guys. There was a lot of debris in the tank, but I really didn't see any water rolling around. So he said something about there was an issue back here. He had cleaned the carburetor, and it looks like it's a little wet here. And he's got a zippy tie hooked up to something, so I'm not sure. He was Harvey, the homeowner, and this thing looked like it was Mickey Mouse. So I thought, just by looking at the other side, he gave me the best side and not this side. I thought, well, that don't look too bad. But in person, whole another story. So I'm okay so far for 30. We're gonna have to see what we can do. What's the oil? I'm using let's hit the low but good enough. I'm using an old pair of underwear as a rag. That's embarrassing. So I looked at the blade. Blade's pretty well worn. Let's flip it over and I'll show you. The axle had a lot of buildup on it. So I think he was rough on his equipment. I got to figure out what the deal is for this thing. Cable action seems good on both. The traction control's a little sloppy. There needs to be some adjustment in that. So let's look at what model this is anyway. It's 20378, which is what I just worked on. 20378. And this one's been well used. Country of origin, Mexico. So 675, 149cc. The build date for this, my big head's in your way. Evap control meets 2018. So the other one was a 2018. This seems to be in French and English, which is odd. No, Spanish. Data manufacturer 3/21/18. Well, that's coincidental. I had the other one was 3 something 18, March something of 18. So these two machines were almost cousins. I should go back to the other video there and see. I remember March of 2018. Okay, we got a lot of stuff. Okay, that's jammed up. it's jammed up here. He said his grass was this tall. He was tired of trying to get this thing to start, so he's going to be beating the shit out of my machine here in about 15 minutes. He says, oh, I got an hour's worth of sunlight. I got to go home and cut the grass. I gave him a full tank of gas. Just as he was pulling up, I was topping off the gas tank. Spanish moss. Oh, this has got some sticks wrapped around it. So this thing's all screwed up. What's this? What's that doing there? I don't think he ever looked under here. Needs a blade, sandblasted, no lift, flatter than a butter knife. Okay, so we know this is going to need some more attention. Let's see about running issue on this 2018. Oh, and he's got it low on the deck height. Let me buzz off the cover here and see what in the heck is going on. Let me knock you down just a tad so that way you can see. Okay, where's the DeWalt? There's the DeWalt. I was working on another machine. I kind of stepped away from it to do a video for you guys. Clucky and Snaky, you guys need to pay attention. Dinos out here standing guard. Okay, so right away we got Harvey not putting it back together. The spring for the throttle linkage is dangling and it's got a big bend in it. So why don't we start by getting rid of this catastrophe with this zippy tie. So what do you think we should do? Maybe drain the bowl. Oh, another thing I noticed, you're going to get a kick out of this. Somebody at AutoZone should be severely punished. Radiator overflow tubing, really soft and rubbery. I see Duralast here. That's the AutoZone brand name. So if this dude went in and said, I need gas line, and they sold him this radiator, soft stuff, I doubt this is gasoline certified. Oh, look how thin that is. Holy schmoly. So that's got to come off. Unless this dude was cheap and just said, give me the cheapest hose you got. So let's come up with the plan. The plan is I'm going to take a 10 millimeter open and wrench, drop the bowl nut, and catch whatever comes out. I should probably take this off first so it just doesn't keep rolling. But there was a shitload of debris in the sample that I took. So I think this is going to be a can of worms on this thing. This guy tried to work on it, couldn't get it to run right. Let's just take a sample here. A lot of debris, but I don't see any. Oh yeah, there is. See that? Just a little bit of water there made its way. So let's see what's in the bowl. So he may have contaminated fuel. He said the right thing when he said wreck fuel, but if he's got it in his shed or outside, who knows? See, if I wanted to take it off, I'd have to take the recoil off, take off the thermostatic wafer, undo the linkage here. So I'm just going to do a quickie quick and catch all the fluid that comes out of here. Kind of looks like raccoon urine. And this is my indicator. I always look at the plug and you can see it's rusty there. So that's not good. If this is rusty, that means the bowl is going to be crapola. Let's see what this shows us. Looks like urine-ish color with some more debris. Why isn't the inline in-tank filter stopping this? Oh, well, that means something, doesn't it? I think we're in for a carb clean. Maybe the jet, brass jet's got some shit in it, but it was all the way up the side of the bowl. Let me show you how scaly this catastrophe is. Oh, we got some parrots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parrots or parakeets. When they escape, they kind of go wild and go around and squawk. And there's a bunch over near the Sarasota Jungle Gardens that escaped. There's big herds of them. Flocks, not herds. So they survive in the wild because they were wild at one time. So we got to do a carb clean. I could probably do a quick clean of this. Looked like there was a lot of gas in it. I just don't want to take up a lot of your time. Yeah, there's a nearly full tank. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Should I just try to clean this up, put it on, and try it? I think we're going to be in the same situation as before. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to plow ahead. I'm going to use the gas that I took out with the turkey baster. I have a small brush. I'm just going to clean this up. I don't think it's going to work, but I think I got to ultrasonic clean this thing. So that's why this thing wasn't right. Looked like shitty fuel, and he had a lot of rust buildup down here. He said he got the mower 3 years ago from a pawn shop. I think he said for $60, which is very good for a pawn shop. Usually they're a lot more than that, so I don't know how he got such a good deal. That would mean whoever traded it in would have had to trade it in for a $20 value for them to make any money. Maybe he traded in some stuff and it was a package deal. They gave him a good deal for this mower. I thought about going to the pawn shops and tell them I'll buy non-running stuff that comes in. I didn't pursue it. I got enough metal scrappers that I can get stuff, I think, at a better price. And the pawn shops don't take stuff non-running because there's no value in it unless there's a guy there working there that knows how to fix stuff. You know what I mean? They want stuff in good condition so they can put it back out on the showroom floor. Okay, I used his gas, kind of cleaned this up pretty well. I may let some more gas roll out of this windshield washer line just to see how it's coming out. But it's kind of raunchy. Whoops, I gotta move you guys over. The fuel in the bowl was a lot darker than what's coming out of the tank right now. This looks a lot nicer. It's borderline. It's got a little bit of a stink to it, but not too bad. Okay, that's about enough. And put all this back together again. Put the spring on that he forgot to reattach. Wipe my gassy hands on my dirty underwear. Let me take the wire brush and just go over the nut here. I hate rusty nuts. Okay, let's put this hunk of junk back together again. Needle and float look to be moving as they should. Put the rusty nut in. This may need more attention than what I'm providing it. I've got a couple of these Huaweis in stock, but this one isn't too bad. I think it can be salvaged. Sometimes I get them and they're really, really rusty. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut this. I'll do that in a minute. Let's stay focused and keep plowing ahead. Put my fuel line on. This is gonna have to come off anyway for this fuel line. I can't have that. Somebody parks this in a garage, this thing starts leaking. They come out the next day and it smells like a gasoline station. It's It's kind of leaking a little bit from the hose. So, but for right now, it's gonna have to do. You know what I mean? So I'm almost as bad as him. Gotta put my linkage on or we're not gonna get anywhere. There's that. Where's this bent spring? Right here. Let's loop that through the plastic hole. Last project of the day, sun's going down. It'll have to do. Springs tweaked. Okay, backing plate and the 210s. The air breather hose. I'm sorry, Snaky. So the chances at this start, I don't think are in the 90s. I don't think they're very good. I think it's just going to take a little bit more than what we're offering it here. Okay, that's super good and tight. I can start it like this with that zippy tie there. That'll remind me what a shit show this thing has been. Okay. What do we got for a plug? Is it an NGK? Why don't we just take a look at that? Hi.